Good evening, health advocates. Tonight we're here to talk to you about the importance of iron. I'll tell you what, ladies, there's one thing I love, and that's making sure you've got enough iron. Now, for generations, we've always known women traditionally run low on iron. But guess what, guys? This has now become a real issue for you too. And it's nothing to do with heavy periods. It's everything to do with the chronic infestation of parasites and Epstein-Barr or viruses in our life. Okay, so what does iron do? How do we get it from our food? And what are some good supplements I like to recommend? So first of all, this is what I want you to do, guys and girls. I want you to take your makeup off and I want you to look in the mirror. And if you can see 3 or more of these symptoms and signs, I want you to go get your iron checked, and I'll tell you what you're going to check for. First thing is, do you have pale coloured lips? Do you have some blue ring around the lips? Have you got low, pale, profusion or pinkness under your eyes? Have you got deep circles? Do you have a puffy neck? Have you got some brittle nails or ridges in your nails? Okay, these are all clear symptoms and signs of low iron. Okay, what about some symptoms? Fatigue, fatigue, fatigue. Everyone knows you're low on iron, you get fatigued because you don't make a healthy red blood cell which transports oxygen to the tissues and gives you energy. Okay, then it's got to clear the waste products. Okay, so fatigue's a big one. What about you get shortness of breath on exercise? That's very common and that's a low symptom of iron. What about do you, I'm trying to think some lovely other things, chapped lips, poor pallor complexion, irritability, anxiousness, low blood pressure. Do you feel dizzy? Okay, there's many symptoms. Okay, let's just talk about what iron does in our body. Apart from making a really healthy blood cell, do you know it's so important to make thyroid peroxidase? It actually makes your most important thyroid hormone. So if you're low on iron, often people present clinically with hypothyroid symptoms. What are they? Cold hands, constipation, fatigue, brain fog. That's another symptom. What else does it do? It actually builds your immune system. Okay, it makes a very important enzyme, a catalase enzyme, which boosts your immune system. That's why when you're low on iron, you catch more viruses and you feel unwell. Okay, I think I've painted a pretty clear picture. I want you to go and check and see if you've got any symptoms for low iron. What if you have? Go check it. I want you to go to your GP, your health practitioner, and I want you to ask for these 4 things. We do an iron check. We do a total iron binding capacity, that's your potential to absorb iron and carry it. Then your first iron store, and that's transferrin, and your long-term store is called ferritin. Now guys, this is how I like to use little analogies for you. I like to call iron my cash. I like to call my checking account my transferrin, and I like to call my ferritin my long-term bank store. Now all 3 have to be healthy. Okay, what's healthy? I want at least a 15 level of iron. I want at least a 30% saturation, and I want a long-term deposit above 100. Often when I get clients, they've got 2 of those markers which are low. So guys, you can't go to the shops without cash. You can't go to the shops and last all day without a good check account, and forget the week, you're not going to last. So guys, please check all those levels and make sure they're good and sound. And then you'll find all those energy or lack of will come up. Okay, so what's our first strategy about building our iron? Well, look at your food, or look what's in your food that you shouldn't be having. What's iron-rich food? I think most of us know we've got 2 sources of iron. We've got plant source, which is an organic. It's very easily absorbed, assuming we have good digestive enzymes. Then we have a heme source, and that's from protein. That's mainly your animal-based products. That's a high-potency iron, but I tell you what, guys, if you've got low digestive enzymes or any gut parasite, forget your heme iron, it won't get absorbed. So therefore, they're your 2 sources. So let's focus originally on the plant source, okay? You need to eat it 3 times a day. Therefore, iron-rich plants 3 times a day. If you're not getting good iron from that, then you must think of the first thing to support it with a good digestive process. Digestive enzymes will always cleave your iron out of your food and help you absorb it. And I'll give you a little anecdote. I had a lovely client the other day. We took their level of iron from 15 to 30 just by using digestive enzymes. It's a good tool. Okay, ask us which one if you want. What's the next thing? What do I eat around iron, or what should I remove from my diet when I have my iron? The first thing is always have iron with vitamin C. And in particular, the vitamin C helps the plant source iron because it helps it oxidize. And you need that vitamin C in an oxidized form to take the plant source of iron in. Heme iron doesn't get such a big difference with the vitamin C because it's a more potent source. But always think vitamin C when you think iron. Okay? What shouldn't I have when I have iron-rich food? Calcium. Do you know, many years ago we had an epidemic of people on calcium supplements for poor prevention of osteoporosis. But then we had an epidemic of people with low iron anemia because we stopped the iron being absorbed. Please, you must space your calcium supplements or calcium-rich food away from your iron. Okay? Many iron supplements you can have on an empty stomach. Why would someone say they get sick when they take an iron supplement? Well, immediately you must know that iron is not the right one for you. It's either too big a dose, Or you have a parasite or something growing in your tummy where you're feeding the parasite, because parasites love iron, and you're not feeding your own iron store. So you must check it's the right one for you. So if I went to traditional therapy and I said, now well, let's think of which iron supplement I can do, I do love a safer iron, okay? I'm not a big iron sulfate prescriber because, one, it's toxic in high doses, so if you live with little kiddies and they grab it, it could be dangerous. So I keep a softer sugar type iron. It's gentler on the tummy and it doesn't have to be had with food. So that's a good advantage because I can separate it away from our calcium. Okay, what about cofactors that help with iron absorption? We spoke about taking vitamin C with it, or a glass of orange juice, or squeezing some lemon juice in it. But otherwise, vitamin B12, B6, these are really important vitamin Bs that go hand in hand with iron. So therefore, I do love a Metagenics Heme Iron because it's a good once a day supplement which has those with it. Okay, now I'm coming it all back down to the gut because the question you should be saying is, why is my iron low? Okay, so briefly we said you might be a lady, a heavier period. That might be a reason. You may have had a chronic viruses. That could be a good reason. You may have had a chronic exposure to a parasite. Let's sort the gut out, okay? That's why I always bring back to a probiotic. But I tell you what, there's some wonderful research. There's actually an ingredient in a probiotic now called lactoferrin, and it enhances iron absorption. So of course I'm going to choose a probiotic which has lactoferrin in it, and this is one we stock with it. And you'd have it once or twice a day. Wonderful. They actually call it Immune 5. It's everything about rebuilding your immune system, because by rebuilding a good iron store, you have a better immune system. Okay, I hope I've given you some great strategies, symptoms to look for, good supplements to think about to include in your diet, but I really want you to think about, what if I've got too much iron and too much iron store? Well, next week, guys, I'm going to talk about too much iron, because iron has to be in a happy little medium, not too little and not too much. Good evening. See you later. Oh, one more caveat I was going to promise you. I do a wonderful beetroot juice with ginger and spinach, which I love my ladies and gents to have when they're low in iron. If you want that recipe, I want you to jump on Facebook now and say, yes, please, send me the recipe, and I'll post it for you. Ciao, and have a great night.